is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, with about a week and a half to go before the All-Star break, tonight the Tigers begin a crucial 11-game road trip through Tampa, Cleveland, and then Toronto. But it all begins here tonight on the beach. We're in St. Petersburg, Florida, Game 1 between the Tigers and the Rays. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba. Ron Allen, glad you're with us for the start of this long 11-game road trip. And really, the next 11 days, Ron, I think will give us a pretty good indication of where this team will stand going into the break.
Imperative that they play well, and it starts right here in Tampa. This Tampa team has not been very good, Mario, so they have to somehow take 3 or 4 because they're really heading into a hostile environment when they go to Cleveland. They're playing better than anybody on the planet. And then Toronto, that's a troublesome place to win. So you got to win some games here in Tampa, and then you hope that you can win the majority of the games on this road trip, and that might give Al Avila a reason to buy at the trade deadline.
All right, now Jordan Zimmermann will take them out tonight for the Tigers. We all know that Jordan got off to a great start in the month of April, the pitcher of the month in the American League. His numbers were outstanding the first month and a half. He was 5-2 through May 11, but since his ERA has jumped up to 6.48 and the average against almost 300. Jordan trying to turn things around beginning here tonight, Rod.
You know, he really hasn't pitched all that well in his last number of starts, and I think that part of that was because of the groin injury that he sustained. He missed one start, but then he came back, and the third start after the injury, he pitched very well, but in his last outing, he left a lot of balls right over the heart of the plate. He gave a lot of triples against that hot Cleveland Indians team. I expect him to be better today. I expect him to get the ball down to the strike zone. He was not very good. He said so himself. In his previous outing to that one we just showed you against Cleveland, he was as good as I've seen him this year against the Kansas City Royals. Let's hope that Zimmermann shows up here tonight.
All right, now as far as the lineup that he will face tonight, a lot of injuries for this Tampa team, but one guy remains, and that's Evan Longoria. He is having not only a terrific month, but a terrific year.
You know, he's playing like the all-star that he has been throughout his major league career. His injuries are behind him. This guy's got some mad power in his bat. 18 big flies already this year, 44 driven in, 21 doubles. That paces his team. He's also stellar defensively. Only Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers is better than Evan Longoria. He is the one guy, if you're Zimmermann here tonight, if you get yourself in a situation where there are some traffic on the base path, you do not want to pitch to Evan Longoria. Give him a free pass and go after the rest of the guys in the lineup because the rest of his teammates, they are not performing very well right now.
All right, Tigers and Rays, Game 1 in their series coming up after a short break. We'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Kristen Keith coming up in this one tonight. Can the Tigers keep the power going? They've had 6 home runs in their last 2 games. Tigers-Rays, Game 1 next. Petersburg, Florida tonight. The Tigers starting a 4-game series and an 11-game road trip here. The starting lineup for tonight's game brought to you by the Michigan Ford dealers. And for the Tigers, it'll be Ian Kinsler leading it off at second base. Cam Maben is out in center field. Miguel Cabrera at first base. 426 home runs, one shy of tying Piazza. Martinez the DH. Castellanos at third. Upton is in left. And your bottom three is Moyes, Saltalamacchia, and Iglesias. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of Jake Odorizzi.
Couple different fastballs for Odorizzi. He's got a four-seam fastball that gets up to about 93. He also will cut the fastball. He really loves his split-fingered fastball slash changeup, but it hasn't been a great pitch for him so far this year. He also has a couple different breaking balls to go along with the other three pitches. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays. The starting defense is brought to you by Tim Hortons, Dickerson, Jennings, Geyer in the outfield, Longoria in the infield at third base. He's had an outstanding defensive year, also playing very well offensively.
And we are ready for baseball here tonight at Tropicana Field as Ian Kinsler gets set to lead things off. It'll be Kinsler, Maben, and Cabrera, the top three facing Odorizzi. Tigers come in 2 games over the 500 mark, and here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It's a strike call.
You're going to see Odorizzi at the top of the strike zone all night long. He's one of those guys that has a really nice high spin rate on his fastball, and you'll see fastballs today at about 91, 92 miles an hour that a lot of the Tigers hitters might just swing through if they can't lay off of it.
The 0-1 pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kinsler. Sub 300 batting average now for Ian. He checks in at 295, 14 home runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's a nice job there by Ian laying off the elevated heater thrown by Odorizzi.
Kinsler 9 hits on the recent homestand. Tigers won the last 2 against the Marlins. The 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Tigers leadoff man.
They also say that Odorizzi, because of velocity not necessarily where it should be, a lot of pitches are being fouled off in his starts, therefore that pitch count going way up early in games.
Odorizzi is 26 years old, out of Highland, Illinois. Swing and a miss, and Kinsler is down on strikes. 1 away here in the first inning.
I don't know what it is, Mario, with that elevated fastball, but we're seeing a lot of pitchers in baseball really use that pitch to their advantage these days.
We've seen a lot of it this year. I think we saw it a little bit last year as well toward the tail end of the season, but that has become the pitcher of choice.
Yeah, it used to be the cut fastball a couple of years ago, but the elevated heater now has taken over for that pitch.
Well, here is Maben, who has hit safely in his last 5. Cameron with a .333 average on the last homestand. And he'll look at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1.
For the most part, the Tigers got busy from an offensive standpoint on that last homestand, with the exception of the games against the Cleveland Indians.
Maben shoots one fair down the first base line into right field. That'll be a 1-out single.
The guys that have the shorter, quicker swings are the guys that are going to have success today against Odorizzi. This is just a really short, quick, compact swing taken by Maben, just trying to put the ball in play, and he finds that line for a solid single.
Well, the Bernstein advantage brings us the scouting report and the matchup here for Miguel Cabrera. And here at the Trop, Miggy has done some really good work. 8-game hitting streak at Tropicana Field, and in that stretch, a .448 batting average.
And Miggy also hot coming in, at least with the home run balls. 6 home runs on that just completed 9-game series.
And Cabrera shoots one on the ground to third, and that's Longoria to second, 1 and a double play. Sharply hit ball. It goes 5-4-3, and the Tigers are out of the first. The bottom of the first, Tigers starting pitcher Jordan Zimmerman tonight, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Overall this year, Zimmerman comes in 9-4 with a 3.81 earned run average, which is very respectable. And his team, Mario, today they really needs him to go out there and pitch some good baseball, go deep in the game, and give the bullpen a little bit of a rest.
Now we'll see if that happens here tonight. Their starting lineup is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, and for the Rays, they have Forsythe, Miller, and Longoria in the top 3 spots. Longoria's got 9 homers this month. Morrison is their first baseman. Geyer is in right. Dickerson in the left. And a bottom 3 of Jennings, the former twin Arcia, and the catcher is Hank Conger. So the Rays will come into this ball game 33-44. As Forsythe leaves it off and looks at a ball high, 1-0. Rays took 2 out of 3 from Boston after losing 11 consecutive games.
They beat David Price again yesterday.
Imagine that. Here's a strike called, 1-1.
Yeah, Zimmerman's got a fastball that gets up to about 94 miles an hour. He also has a slider. He's got a curveball and a changeup. So he's got all 4. I wanted to correct something that I said about Miguel Cabrera before he hit into that double play. Miggy hit 4 home runs on the recent homestand. I had him with 6.
Well, Miggy, regardless, has been hot and really scalded that ball right into the third baseman, though, and Longoria started the double play. 1-2 bouncing in, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Logan Forsythe.
Always love the pace that Zimmerman works with. For the most part, he grabs that baseball, gets right back on top of the rubber, and delivers his next pitch. Real nice pace to his game.
30-year-old out of Auburndale, Wisconsin. Shot to right field. That's going to get down. Fair ball and go to the corner. Moya digs it up off the wall. Has trouble with it. Now Forsythe might get the third. And he will. Moya could not pick it up, and it rolled around the corner.
I'm not sure if this is Moya's first start at the Trop, but this ballpark, especially in the outfield, presents some tricky angles, and he got too close to the wall, and that ball just shot by him, and that allowed Forsythe to get all the way to third base. You almost have to come out early before the game, Mario, and have Dave Clark hit balls down the left field line, down the right field line to simulate a play like that, so if you get that ball during the game, you know exactly what to do.
Well, the Tigers defensively have struggled in the outfield defense recently, and that's another play that probably should have been held to a double. It goes a double and an E9, and here is Brad Miller, who swings and misses. So an early scoring chance for the Rays. Miller, their shortstop, batting .253 with 10 home runs.
And as I expected, this is Moya's first game action here at Tropicana Field.
There really are a couple of ballparks across the league. You know, Fenway comes to mind because it's so quirky, but I think anytime you come to a dome, it's just a different field, period.
And when the pop-ups go up, you'll see the infielders pointing out which direction the balls are going, and you see guys never take their eye off the baseball.
1-2 now on Brad Miller. Miller has multi-hit games in 3 of his last 4. Trying to drive in Forsythe here with nobody out. And that is a line drive right at the first baseman Cabrera to hold the runner.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health. In the outfield, left to right, you've got Upton, you've got Maben, and you've got Moya. Third to first, you've got Castellanos, you've got Iglesias, who leads shortstops with a .991 fielding percentage. That's pretty good. You also have Kinsler and Miggy rounding out the infield, and Santalamaki, after a really good day offensively, getting another start behind the plate.
So the Tigers now will pull the infield in a couple of steps as Longoria stands in, trying to drive in the run. And he'll take a ball inside as Zim comes way in.
Longoria has been one of the hottest hitters in the American League in the month of June. Therefore, if you're Zimmerman, even though they're playing the infield in, you've got that open base. You don't necessarily have to pitch to Longoria here. You can put him on first and then play for a double play.
I mean, if you're honest here, Rod, and you look at their lineup, this is the one guy that really scares you, and that's pretty much it.
That's right.
Here's the 1-0. That'll miss low. 2 balls and no strikes. Longoria, 9 home runs this month, 18 for the season. Had a really good series against the Boston Red Sox. And there's the strike. Got him on the front foot, 2-1. There you go, 9 home runs here in the month of June. You know, I almost forgot that Jose Canseco played here.
Yeah, he played it a long time ago, early.
That'll miss outside. The count now on Longoria, 3-1.
And it looks like that's exactly what Jordan Zimmerman is doing here. And to Longoria, pitching around him.
Here's the 3-1 offering, and it's going to be inside, ball 4. So Longoria will take his walk. We'll put runners at first and third. It brings us to the field conditions tonight, presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. A little bit different tonight because we're indoors. It is a perfect 70 inside. Boy, is it humid outside.
That for sure.
And you know what we can guarantee tonight? No rain. At least not inside. Tropicana Field, the first and only visit this year for the Tigers. Here is Logan Morrison. Now Zimmerman looking for the ground ball here to turn 2.
And Morrison has grounded into 4 double plays already this season.
.237 average, has a little bit of power, 8 home runs this year. There's a ball inside, 1-0. It's a Rays team that hits a lot of home runs. In fact, they are 4th in the majors with 109 homers.
50% of their runs scored this year have come via the home run ball.
That's a lot.
They also strike out a lot. And they have struck out 713 times. The only team in the American League that has punched out more than Tampa are the Houston Astros.
And that's definitely believable. Astros strike out a ton. Seems to be all or nothing with both of those offenses, homer or strikeout. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. Kevin Cash is in his 2nd year as the manager of the Rays.
Youngest manager in the movies, Kevin Cash.
Longoria draws the throw. Forsythe reached 3rd on a double and an error to start this inning. 1 out later, Longoria was walked. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike on Logan Morrison. Zim in the month of June has an ERA of about 6.5, so he's trying to get things turned around as we head to the break.
Especially after the 5-0 mark that he got off to in the month of April.
It looked like he was on his way to the best season of his career. ERA 0.55 that month. There's another one inside, and now the count goes 3-1. Morrison does not swing the bat all that well here at home. Just 163 at the drop, which is the lowest home average in the majors.
I was looking at some of their team numbers. They don't perform all that well here, but they do a better job on the road, some of their hitters.
Runner goes, and he swing a high fly ball. Left center field, up and measures it. Runner will tag and score. It'll be a sac fly and an RBI as Forsythe comes in. Morrison gets his 27th RBI. So the Rays take advantage of a Tigers error in this first inning. There's Brandon Guyer.
And Brandon Guyer just activated off the disabled list yesterday, and with a hamstring issue.
Guyer missed about 3.5 weeks, and they are still without Kevin Kiermaier, Steven Souza Jr., a couple of key pieces in their lineup. No balls, 1 strike on Geyer. Throw back again. Longoria dives back in.
Longoria has no stolen bases this year, but Zimmerman's still paying close attention to him.
Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes.
Already a lot of curveballs thrown here in the first inning by Zimmerman. That may be the pitch that he has chosen to go with today against the Tampa Bay Rays. Usually he does not throw this many curveballs in the very first inning.
He is up to 21 in the pitch count right now. Here's the 0-2.
Tigers really need a good outing today out of Zimmerman. In the 9 games that they played at Comerica Park, their starters only in one of those games went beyond the 5th inning.
Whoa. Well, Brad talked about that. He said at this pace, our bullpen is just going to flame out. You cannot depend on them to throw as many innings as they have. They'll get foul back out of play.
Tigers bullpen nearly threw 50 innings on the homestand. That's way too many, but the bullpen did perform well. But as Brad alluded to the fact, you just cannot use your bullpen as often as he had to use his on the homestand.
Well, and the other thing is the Tigers do have that extra man in the bullpen right now, but they're still being taxed. And had they not performed as well as they did on the homestand, it could have been a lot worse. That'll bounce in, and Longoria on his way to second will get in there nicely. He had a really good read on that pitch.
You have to anticipate that. You have to know that Zimmerman's throwing a lot of breaking balls already in the first inning, and Longoria knows that. As soon as the ball hits the dirt, he's off and running, and that ball did not bounce that far away from Jared, but Jared unable to make a play on Evan.
I think Saltalamacchia might have been a little bit surprised that Longoria went. Now he is in scoring position. And a bouncing ball to second. That'll be routine for Kinsler. That'll end the inning. Rays get a run, and we go to the second. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. And by Ram Trucks. Come to discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. A lot of Tigers fans to the ballpark here tonight following their favorite team.
It's always that way when we get this close to Lakeland, the spring home of the Tigers right down the road.
Victor Martinez leading it off. The Rays have a 1-0 lead. Martinez, Castellanos, and Upton against the right-hander Odorizzi here in the second.
You get a chance to go check on your property down in Lakeland?
No.
You got property all over the country. I'm just checking.
I'm a big-time roller. A high roller. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll bounce in. 2 balls, no strikes on Martinez. Tigers got a single in the first, but a double play ball by Cabrera ended the inning.
Again, Odorizzi, that fastball 91 to 93. He's got a split-fingered fastball slash changeup. He was taught that pitch by Alex Cobb, who's on the disabled list.
Inside, 3 balls, no strikes.
This pitching staff here in Tampa not pitching and performing, Mario, the way that it has always performed. This has always been a really good pitching staff here.
Really has, even back to the days of Joe Madden managing here when they got to the World Series and were in the playoffs in the late 2000s, 08, 09, 10 in that area. And you're right, the staff just has not been able to pitch up to what many thought they would. They got a great pitching coach here. Drew Smiley, the former Tiger, is on the staff on the left.
He has struggled lately, Smiley.
And Archer has 11 losses. There's Chris Archer. That's almost stunning to think about that with the arm that he has. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Popped up, back out of play, and the count will go to 3-2.
And told you that because Odorizzi at this particular time, not necessarily, it doesn't have that strikeout pitch. A lot of the pitches that he is featuring gets fouled off, especially the fastballs upstairs.
Lefties this year batting only .205 against Odorizzi. Again, foul back out of play. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable players. When you talk about guys that have really gotten it done here at Tropicana Field, well, Victor is at the very top of that list. That's a .370 batting average here. Miguel at .306. Now again, Odorizzi with the 3-2. Lost him, ball 4 high.
Nice job by Victor. And fouling off those difficult fastballs upstairs and then laying off the 1 to get ball 4. But you get the feeling that Odorizzi really doesn't mind all that much if he does walk Victor, because one of the things he knows Victor is not going to do, he's not going to steal any bases, so they're going to go station to station to score Victor.
Yeah, it would be difficult to score Victor on a double as well. Castellanos is 1 for 8 against Odorizzi.
And nothing really has changed with Nick, having a really good year, batting average back over 300. Loves to feast on first pitch fastballs.
Ball 1.
Therefore, the slide piece thrown by Odorizzi.
You're talking about the struggles the Rays staff has had. Until yesterday, the Rays had allowed 5 or more runs in 13 consecutive games.
Whoa.
And they had that 11-game losing streak that was busted up with their series in Boston winning 2 out of 3. Big swing there by Nick.
No, that's not a typical Tampa Rays staff.
For Castellanos, a .301 batting average. 14 home runs this year for Nick. He has hit safely in his last 4. Swing and a miss.
Good slider here thrown by Odorizzi. It looks like it's a fastball coming out of his hand into the last couple of feet. And Nick starts his swing, and the ball no longer is there.
Justin Upton waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. They are playing Castellanos to the left side of the infield. They've opened up the entire right side, especially with Morrison holding the runner at first base.
That's one of the things that Tampa will do. And the team, the organization, very heavy in the analytics, just like a lot of other major league teams. And they will shift on just about every single hitter, left-handed or right-handed.
The interesting thing on Castellanos, though, is the outfield shades the other way. So when he puts the ball in the air, he typically will go to right center field, and he can do it with authority.
Yeah, that's the data that they have on him.
Two balls, two strikes on Castellanos. Fouled away. Nick hanging tough with Upton on deck. Here's what it looks like in the American League Central Division. The Tigers winning yesterday, but those Cleveland Indians won't lose, and so the Tigers remain 7.5 back.
Cleveland has won 12 straight games, and in those 12 games, Mario, their starters' earned run average sits at 2. They're not giving up more than 2 runs a game, the starters.
Yeah, Salazar last night was really good again. Now Cleveland will get a stern test tonight. They are in Toronto.
Toronto's starting to play some good baseball in the month of June as well.
Carrasco and R.A. Dickey in that game. And there's a ball low. 3-2 now. Fill the count. So he's gone 3-2 on the first 2 batters here in the second.
Almost impossible here to start Victor Martinez from first base on the 3-2 pitch to Castellanos.
That would be the ultimate risk. And a drive in the air toward left, but it's going to be straight at Dickerson, who backs up. 1 gone. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. 1 gone for Justin Upton. Justin is another guy that loves hitting in this ballpark. Now his sample size is a lot smaller than many others because of his days in the National League, but he's 5 for 9 with a home run here at the Trop. Here's ball 1. And they play him much the same way they played Castellanos, swung around toward the left side of the infield. Ball too high to Upton. 2-0.
Yeah, good count to hit in if you're Justin. You're looking for 1 fastball in 1 zone, and if you get that fastball, and make sure you get a really good swing at it. He's going to get a fastball.
Ooh, on the outer edge, Upton disagreed by his body language. 2-1.
It's a nice job by Jay Up not swinging at that pitch. Even though he was looking for a fastball, this is a pitcher's pitch. That's on the black outside. You cannot do much with that.
Little chopper toward third, foul. Level the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Upton. These 2 clubs met in May at Comerica Park. The Tigers won 2 out of 3 in that series. Brad nicely calm before the game today. He knows this next 11 days really critical for this ball club heading into the All-Star break, and then you've got the trading deadline a couple of weeks after the break. Strike 3 called, and Upton didn't like it. He is out of there on strikes. 2 gone.
This looked like the same exact fastball that Odorizzi got ahead of Upton with. Oh, actually on the 2-0 pitch. A fastball on the black outside.
2 gone. That'll bring up Steven Moya. Moya missed 4 games with a sore knee that he injured diving for a ball against the Indians. But since being recalled from AAA, most recently .355 and overall .317.
And Moya showing some of the power and promise that he displayed while he was in the minor leagues.
Now Odorizzi finally getting ahead of someone. He had fallen behind to a lot of these Tigers hitters. First Tigers rookie with 4 home runs in a 6-game span since Matt Joyce in '08. Fouled away.
And take a look at Moya's stance, a wide open stance, which gets his head in an upright position, both eyes focused on the pitcher, and it really allows him to turn on inside pitches. And Moya had a difficulty with inside pitches last year, but by opening up at the beginning of the stance and not closing up too much, he still has some nice mobility in the hip area, which allows him to turn on good fastballs. Everything Odorizzi has thrown him has been away.
So was that, and he missed outside. 2-2. Moya has got himself back in the count.
And Moya does have the power that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark the opposite way as well. He's got that kind of strength.
Steven, now when you combine his numbers between AAA and the big leagues this year, has a total of 17 home runs. 13 of those coming at Toledo. Fouled straight back again, so he is elevating the pitch count of Odorizzi.
If you weren't with us in the first inning, we told you that Odorizzi really likes to throw his fastball upstairs at about 92 miles an hour, and for the most part gets lots of swings and misses on that pitch. But the Tigers, they have fouled off quite a few of those fastballs up already here tonight.
And now he's gone 3-2, so that will get Martinez on the move here with 2 outs. Saltalamacchia waiting on deck. It's been a good job here by Moya getting back in the count, fouling off pitch after falling behind 0-2. And a swing and a miss to strike him out. Third strikeout of the ball game for Jake Odorizzi. We go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers, as we mentioned, starting a long road trip. And here's what we're talking about, Rob. They've got to start playing better on the road.
Yeah, numbers have to improve. The batting average needs to go up. Obviously, they need to try to score 5-6 runs on this current road trip because the teams that they're playing up against, the Cleveland Indians and Tampa, those teams are scoring lots of runs. So they've got to play overall a better game of baseball on the road to win some games.
Well, Corey Dickerson will start things off. It'll be Dickerson, Jennings, and Oswaldo Arcia. Facing the right-hander Jordan Zimmerman. Dickerson batting .209, but he has power.
And he loves the ball down. And good low ball hitter.
See that stat against the Tigers? He's 1 for 21 against them.
They've worn him out. Let's hope he stays like that. And he came over from the Colorado Rockies last year. They weren't sure whether his numbers would translate from Colorado to Tampa.
I would imagine anytime you are contemplating a trade with a guy that is an offensive piece in Colorado, that's got to be somewhat of a concern, isn't it?
You have to look at it because the numbers, usually for guys that spend a lot of time in Colorado, their numbers are much better at home where they're playing a mile above sea level. And the ball really travels, ball really flies there. And they don't do as well away from that park. So it has to be taken into consideration.
Dickerson hit as many as 24 home runs in a year in Colorado.
They brought in Morrison, they brought in Dickerson, they brought in Steve Pearce, trying to revamp the offense because they felt like their pitching would be good because historically their pitching has been good. But this year the pitching has taken a step back. And these guys are not performing all that well offensively, the pieces they brought in.
He tried to hold up, but he goes down on strikes. One gone.
That's a real nice sequence there by Zimmerman to Dickerson. Finally finishing him off with a good fastball upstairs.
Well, the one guy, in my opinion at least, that they are really missing is Kevin Kiermaier, and not necessarily only offensively but defensively too. He's a guy that has always had a high WAR.
He's a difference maker.
And he is. And when they lost him to a broken hand, that really handcuffed their offense.
He broke that hand at Comerica Park diving for a baseball.
That's right. It was in May.
And just to speak on what you're talking about regarding Kiermaier, he won the Platinum Glove last year, which goes to the best defender overall in the American League.
Meanwhile, Zim gets ahead of Desmond Jennings, 0-2. Trying to get himself a quick second inning after a lengthy first. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Desmond really just has not lived up to the expectations that were placed upon him from the day that B.J. Upton left as a free agent. They thought he was going to take over for Upton, and they weren't going to miss a beat in center field, but Jennings really has not been consistent as a major league player.
No, he hasn't been able to hit, and you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I think he's been somewhat of a disappointment, but dynamic skills. Here's the 2-2, and it's a ball outside. Didn't go. 3-2.
Even though that was a ball, Zimmerman has some outstanding tilt on his breaking balls here tonight, whether it be the curveball, real nice bite on that, and that slider was a really good pitch.
Hammered toward the gap at left center field. It'll get down. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Jennings on his way to second. He'll stop there with a double. One out, 2-base hit.
It's a real nice job here by Jennings, climbing the ladder to get a low 90s fastball and getting on top of it and whistling the ball into the left center field gap. I thought for a moment with Jennings' speed he was going to entertain the thought of trying to get a triple here, but J-Up gets it into Iglesias, and then he thought better of it.
He should be at third base right now.
Was he slowing down?
He slowed down heading to second. He definitely should have gone to third, but there's a little bit of a grimace, so maybe he hurt himself. But Jennings definitely should be on third. That ball went to the cutout in left center field. And you can see him slow up. So the Tigers get a bit of a break there. Here's Oswaldo Arcia, a former Minnesota Twin who is 7 for 16 as a Ray. Ball 1 to Arcia.
It's the last thing the Tampa Bay Rays need is for another player to end up on the disabled list. And you watch Jennings pull up here and grab that left hamstring. Something jumped up and bit him. And that's why he coasted in the second.
And I'm sure he was thinking triple all the way as well. Now the 1-0. Arcia looks at a strike.
Arcia's got a lot of power.
When he first got to the big leagues, I thought this guy might be a 30 homer a year type guy. In just his second season as a 23-year-old with the Twins, he hit 20 homers. Big swing there, and the count goes 1-2. I think from what I remember, when he hits home runs as well, or at least the ones he has hit against the Tigers, he likes to Cadillac it a little bit.
Oh, he's a hot dog now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Little chopper back up the middle. Castellanos. His throw not in time. Arcia beat it out. It was close. I'm sure the Tigers take a look at some video here.
Arcia does not get many infield singles. He doesn't run all that well. But it almost appears that Castellanos had to wait for the base runner Jennings to run by him before he can field the baseball, and therefore that allowed Arcia a couple extra steps to get the infield single.
And it was just that one extra step that cost him. So it'll be first and third now with 1 out. And it'll bring up the light hitting catcher Hank Conger.
Yeah, the first infield single for Arcia this year. And so there's proof that he doesn't get many hits like that.
Third hit of the game for the Rays overall. Conger looks at a ball that apparently just missed. Conger, a former first-round pick of the Angels, has had his struggles the last 2 years throwing out runners. There's a strike call.
Jordan does not have his good command the first time through the batting order to the Tampa Bay Rays. He's only 4 of 9 in first pitch strikes. Jordan is usually a lot better than that. Just 2 starts ago against the Kansas City Royals, he was 24 of 26 in first pitch strikes.
And that was one of his best starts of the year.
The best for me.
Rounded foul. He went 8, giving up 1 run, only 4 hits, didn't walk anybody in that game.
He was dynamite that afternoon, did not factor into the decision.
That was a game the Tigers lost in 13 innings to the Royals.
That took a lot out of the Tigers that day. Very hot and humid in Kansas City that afternoon.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball toward the right side of the infield. Kinsler to second one. Relay is a double play.
Boy, are they good at turning that double play up the middle. Iglesias and Kinsler.
And they needed that one. 4-6-3 saves the day for Zimmerman. Rays over the Tigers. 1-0 is our score. The Tigers fell behind by a run in the first, but they got a big double play in the second. Here's Saltalamacchia, then Iglesias, and then Kinsler. Salty batting .206, had the big day yesterday. He homered, he doubled, he singled, and knocked one in with a sac fly. And he's getting the call here again tonight behind the dish.
Salty actually had a pretty good homestand. He batted .417 on the homestand.
You look at a strike right at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. They play him to pull on the infield. Odorizzi pitched around a leadoff walk in the second to Victor Martinez. Strike on the outer edge. Here's the 1-2. Drilled toward left field. Straight at Dickerson. 1 out. That'll bring up Iglesias. Jose batting .252 with 3 home runs.
His bat has really perked up in the month of June. And lots of extra base hits. A couple home runs sprinkled in. He's got 3 homers. He hit them against 3 really good pitchers.
He has.
He's got Max Scherzer, Chris Sale, and then that kid
Adam Conley
a couple days ago,
who looks a lot like Chris Sale, or at least he did for 4 innings.
He sure did.
And then after that it just kind of blew up.
The next 5 hitters he was out of the game.
1 ball, 1 strike. 322 in the month of June for Iglesias, so definitely his best month. Bouncing ball right to third. It handcuffed Longoria, but he'll stay with it.
Longoria has some of the sweetest hands of any third baseman in baseball. He makes it look awfully easy down there. And take a look at him. Gets over in front of that baseball. Sweet hands. And he's got a really nice, accurate throwing arm, too. Has a .974 fielding percentage at third base. That is second only to Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers. He just looks healthy this year.
He does. Yep. And he's played in a lot of games the last couple of years, too, so they're keeping him in the lineup. Here's Kinsler. He struck out to start the ball game. Kinsler coming into this game is leading the Tigers in hits with 93. Miggy right behind him with 90. One ball, 1 strike. Little high, 2-1 the count. Cameron Maybin waiting on deck. Two and two.
Ian Kinsler is on pace to score 120 runs this year, Mario. 120. That's a huge number.
I believe it.
He's already scored 63. And with this offense, who knows?
Well, that is one of his goals, if not his main goal at the end of the year. How many have I scored? How many have I driven in?
Yeah, usually the barometer for a leadoff hitter, and to tell them they've had a good year, is if they touch home plate 100 times.
Now Odorizzi with the 2-2. Full count now, 3-2.
And see if Odorizzi decides to throw that split finger slash changeup here in the 3-2 count to Ian Kinsler, or if he goes upstairs with another fastball. They're going to go with the heater.
Pulled foul. Ooh, and a bad error down there.
Jumped up and bit it.
Maybin would be next if Kinsler reaches. And again rolled foul. 30 multi-hit games as well this year for Kinsler. The pace that he has established would put him among his best numbers in his career. And he played a lot of years in Texas in that ballpark. Another foul back to the screen.
He just turned 34 years old, but he's playing like he's 25 these days. Keeps himself in exceptional shape.
.53 pitches now for Odorizzi. And another foul back out of play.
Told you coming in that the Tigers would foul off a lot of pitches against Odorizzi. And a good majority of the foul offs have come with 2 strikes. 6 of those to be exact.
Having trouble putting away Kinsler. Conger will try the fastball away. And a swing and a miss to strike him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Odorizzi. Go to the bottom of the third here at the Trop, and Menards brings you the big money encounter. These Tampa Bay Rays have had trouble, Rod, just getting on any kind of roll.
Well, the pitching. And really, they're always behind in games, and they don't have enough offense that allows them to come back in games. And you gave a stat last inning, 13 consecutive games before yesterday, that they had given up 5 runs or more in a game. So it's tough to win when you're giving up that many runs.
Well, here is the top of the order now. Logan Forsythe will lead it off, and Zimmerman misses low and away.
And Jordan still struggling with the first pitch strikes here today, which tells me that he's not quite as comfortable on the mound as he was in the month of April.
There's a bouncing ball to short. Routine there for Iglesias.
Iglesias has been awfully steady at the shortstop position this year and not showing as much flash as he has in the past.
I would agree with that.
He will show you some every now and then, but he looks more like a traditional shortstop out there these days, and I love it. I think Alan Trammell's gotten his ear a little bit.
It could be. I love the Skell's been trying to do it as well.
All of them do, but Tram circles around the team every now and then too.
And that's how Tram played the game, man. He was just steady out there at short.
Always in the right place. He was one of the smartest shortstops in his generation. That would be Alan Trammell. You know, Tram told me in spring training with all the shifts and stuff like that, the one thing that he still says to the middle infielders like Kinsler and guys like Iglesias, you still make sure that you use the eye test to tell you where you should be. Watch guys take batting practice, see what guys are doing during batting practice, and not only rely on, you know, what they're giving you in the dugout, but you also have an idea what guys like to do.
Wonder how Tram and Lou would respond to all the shifting that goes on these days.
Yeah.
It's definitely different from their era. There's a pop-up foul back out of play. Brad Miller, the batter, 1 out, nobody on here in the 3rd.
That was old school baseball. The starting pitcher would literally sit on the bench, the starting pitcher that night, and watch the opposing team take batting practice. So he could pick up some tendencies of what the hitters were doing in the batting practice sessions that might give him an edge during the game. That's kind of a lost art these days.
Well, that doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No.
2 gone. Time for a game break now. John Keating. Yeah, thanks for the great news, Keats. There's a drive to the gap in left center field. That'll go to the wall. It's going to be extra bases. Longoria will cruise into second. It'll be a 2-out double.
Longoria is just on fire, and he's got to be one of the leading candidates for player of the month in the month of June. 9 homers. That is a fastball that just kind of splits the plate. And you can see Longoria, and that's a real nice shot there of leading with the bat knob, and the bat head just kind of got into the strike zone in a hurry and demonstrated some really nice bat speed.
Number 7, Logan Morrison.
That'll be the 4th hit of the game now for the Rays, and an RBI chance for Logan Morrison, who drove one in with a sac fly in the 1st. Two-out double by Longoria. They also got a double from Jennings in the 2nd that they couldn't score. Double from Forsythe in the 1st. He popped that one up, but it's going to get back out of play.
Do you ever think, Mario, there will come a day where the Tampa Bay Rays will entertain the thought of possibly moving a Longoria? Because he's going pretty good right now, and they're a last-place team, and they're not going anywhere.
Anytime you talk about moving a face of the organization, that gets a little bit dicey.
But they moved everybody else. They moved Price. They moved Shields. They moved everybody.
That's a good point. And I think a lot of it depends on, as you say, how they play as a team, which right now is not very good.
He's got a very good team-friendly contract.
There's a strike on the outer edge. And Longoria, the last couple of years, has shown that he can be an everyday player. He's played a lot of games the last 3 years after suffering through some injuries. Really good fielding at third baseman. Of course, we know we can do offensively. 0-2 the count on Logan Morrison. Ball low. That'd be a tough news conference to have, though, saying we just traded away Evan Longoria.
And one of their franchise player.
There you go. 557 games played since 2013, including every game 2 years ago.
And that was coming off a stretch where he was barely playing over 100 games a year.
Now the 1-2. Popped him up. Man, a mile high. This one might hit one of those rings. It's not going to come down. It finally does in foul territory.
It did hit something.
That thing took a turn after hitting one of the rings. And neither Cabrera or Saltalamacchia could make a play on it. I thought it was going to stay up there.
That should be an out.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with you.
It should be an out.
It should be an out.
The ball was going to be caught. Take a look at Saltalamacchia. He knows where it's at. Mickey also knows where it's at. Looks like then it hits the thing, it just kind of bounces, and where neither can get to it.
You got Scott Berry, the first base umpire, shading his eyes like he's looking into the sun or something. And a break there for Morrison.
You're being told it's a dead ball if it hits something in foul territory, even if it's caught.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Jordan really laboring out there. He's up to 55 pitches. He's got 2 outs here in the 3rd. And he knows he has to stay out there for a while tonight. Although the back in the Brad's bullpen's not in bad shape.
Ooh, he missed again, and now the count fills at 3-2.
This has turned into a really good at bat. And by Logan Morrison. He was down 0-2. Now 3-2.
And Salty out to the mound to have a quick chat with Zimmerman. Here's what you're talking about. Not a good ratio tonight, at least not to this point. 35-21. Morrison drove in his 27th run of the year with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Inside, lost him. It's going to be ball 4. 2 on, 2 outs, and while we have a minute, we check in with Trevor Thompson.
Well, you guys talk about possibly moving Evan Longoria. Well, in November of 2012, he signed a 10-year, $100 million extension, and at the time said he wanted to stay and be a Ray his entire career. He was asked that earlier. The comparison was Steven Stamkos yesterday, who signed an 8-year extension to stay with the Tampa Bay Lightning here in Tampa instead of going to Toronto or coming to Detroit and playing as a Red Wing. He said it's just a testament to how much these athletes love it here in Tampa, how well they're received, and how much they mean to the community that the teams want to keep them here, and they could possibly be Rays and Lightning players their entire careers, guys.
Yeah, and both outstanding players for this community as well. There's a drive to center field. That's going to get down, a base hit. Longoria coming around to score a 2-out hit, and the Rays now have a 2-0 lead. Brandon Geyer gets it done.
And Geyer, fresh off the disabled list yesterday and making an impact here in his second game back, gets a slider and that stays right at the heart of the plate and laces it and right back up the middle. Real good jump by Longoria off of second. No play for Cameron Maben at home. Tampa Bay Rays, highest in Major League Baseball in scoring 47% of their runs after 2 are out.
Wow. 47%. I mean, think about that. So just about half their runs with 2 outs. It's a pretty amazing stat there as Dickerson stands in now.
They couldn't get back to the Trevor hit, but it's just like Trevor to weave in a hockey player into a baseball game, right?
Stamkos, a little Stamkos in there. It's grounded foul down the first base line. Now that's a much better play by the ball boy down that right side. Kudos. 0-1 on Dickerson. Just don't see it though as much in these days, Rod, in really any major sport where guys are sticking around and spend their entire career in one city.
No, you don't see it. Kind of easy though if you're going to get a lengthy contract like that to stay here in Tampa because they have no state tax here in the state of Florida.
Ah, you've already looked that up, have you? You're up on the tax code here in Florida.
Right,
that's pretty good.
You know, so you save a few extra nickels here. Uncle Sam and doesn't dip into your pocket as much as he does in some of the other states.
Well, we kid about that, but that could be, you know, not a deciding factor, but certainly factoring into decision-making processes.
For sure.
Rays on top 2-0. This will be the 60th pitch now for Zimmerman. Dickerson struck out in the second. Fouled away.
This is a light hitting team. It comes in with the lowest batting average in the American League, dead last, but they are having some quality at bats tonight against Zimmerman.
I would agree. They're running the count deep. They're fouling off pitches, and you saw the breakdown on the pitch count for Zim.
All 3 of his innings today have been very stressful.
Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Iglesias going to have to go to first, and his throw is not in time. Iggy looked to second and then had to double pump and throw to first.
Well, Tigers were shifting here, and the shift kind of cost them an out. Because Iglesias had to go back to his right, where he should have been in his normal position. Kinsler was shifting too, so he couldn't get to second. So he used his arm strength to try to get the out at first. And a base hit.
Close play at first base. Looks like Desmond Jennings' hamstring was an issue. He is not going to bat here. We'll get a meeting on the mound. The bases are loaded for the Rays. They lead 2-0. Nick Franklin has picked up a bat, and he will pinch hit for Jennings. Well, home plate umpire Adam Hammery trying to chase Rich Doobie out of there. He's not leaving. The clock has expired. So big opportunity now for the Rays. It all started with a 2-out double by Evan Longoria. Walk, single, single, and now they're loaded up. And Franklin looks at a strike. He didn't like that call from Adam Hammery. Here's the 0-1. Rolled foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, if you're Zimmerman, you can go a couple different ways here. You can go upstairs with a good four-seam fastball, 93, 94, and to see if you can get Franklin to swing through that. It might be a little bit too risky to go with a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone and to rely on Saltalamacchia to block that, especially with a runner on third.
Short. Iglesias on the run. Can't get it. It drops in and rolls away from Upton. This might get 3 runs in. Throw to the plate is not in time. A double drives in 3.
Outstanding job here by the third base coach, Charlie Montoya, especially with that third run. After watching Iglesias run after the ball, he knew Iglesias would have to pick it up, and it was going to be very difficult for him to throw out Morrison at first at home plate. It's a nice job by their third base coach. And good hustle from Morrison, too.
That ball took a left turn once it hit the turf and rolled away from Justin Upton.
How do you get 3 ribbies on that?
I don't know, man. That was just a little blooper over the shortstop's head, but once it hit that turf, it jutted left. Arcia, the batter. Franklin had 6 RBIs in the just completed series against Boston. Now he's got 3 more.
What was he doing on the bench anyway?
I don't know. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So this has turned into a 4-run inning, and again it all started with a 2-out double.
Well, you can go back to the at bat too, Mario, against Logan Morrison. He had Logan Morrison down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and he ended up walking him.
Now the 0-2. Fought that one off. And Morrison, I believe, hit that ball that hit the catwalk as well. So that was a bad break. 5-0 Rays and the lead. We're in the 3rd. Arcia had an infield single in the 2nd. 1 for 1. Swing and a miss, and an ugly swing at that to end the inning, but they send 8 men to the plate and score 4 times. T-Mobile's greater coverage on baseball, and you got to talk about a couple of teams right now in the American League. The Indians, we talked about them earlier, seeking a 13-game streak.
Everybody knew that the Indians, if that pitching staff ever got going like it's going right now, they could run off 13 in a row.
Orioles hitting a lot of home runs. 55.
Is that a lot?
It's in the month of June.
And it's gotten to the point now where, yes, they do play in Camden Yards.
Yeah,
but they play on the road, too.
Yep.
They got some guys that can hit the ball a long, long way. Adam Jones has 10 home runs in the month of June alone.
So the defensive changes. Geyer now is in center. Franklin stays the game and plays it right.
And Tiger's going to have to fight and scratch and claw if they're going to get back in this one tonight.
Well, they can do it here. Maben, Cabrera, and then Martinez.
They've got the offense that can do it.
Cameron had a single down the right field line his first time up. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Threw it by him.
There's that fastball, man, at 90 miles an hour, right around the belt buckle, maybe a tick higher, that we've already witnessed several Tigers just not able to barrel it up. It almost like it has another gear, and once it gets into the hitting zone.
And down he goes. Maben strikes out.
Here is the Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Windows. Y'all remember this one. It was on the current homestand. Miguel Cabrera hit a ball out of Comerica Park. That was up by the Al Kaline statue. Then he started picking on Steve Greenberg's son. Father, I should say. That would be Hank Greenberg. Pretty soon he'll be in Cooperstown with those two guys.
I'll tell you what, man, Cabrera's swing, and those last two are a great example of how he really he's not a max effort guy, yet it goes better than 400 feet.
Effortless.
Easily.
Effortless.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That ball he hit at Comerica Park ended up out of the stadium.
It did. Bounced behind the statues and rolled out. Miggy looks at a strike, and now it's 1-2.
Headed down toward the Ren Center.
Well, I don't know about that much.
Well, down Woodward Avenue
at least. It's going to take the new M1 down to the Ren Center. Here's the 1-2. By the way, I ran into a stat almost by accident today, but Odorizzi, when Conger catches him, has a 2.76 ERA. When Casale catches him, it's over 5. It's a big difference, and it's the same amount of starts. 8 with each catcher coming in. There's the ball high. So there must be some kind of synergy between Conger and Odorizzi.
And it also leads me to believe that the remainder of this year, that Conger will catch all of his starts.
You would think. Here's the 2-2. Ripped to left, but foul. Oh, man. Miggy just couldn't stay back long enough.
Miguel Cabrera with 18 home runs this year, which is the same total that he hit last year. Of course, he was injured last year, spent some time on the disabled list.
Four of them on the last homestand. 4 of his 9 hits were homers on the homestand. Cabrera given time. Here's the 2-2. High, 3-2. On pace for 37 this year is Cabrera. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 straight strikeouts now for Odorizzi.
Just a simple 93-mile-per-hour fastball thrown by Odorizzi. There, right by Miguel Cabrera, but he's not the only one that has swung right through it today.
This just baffles me.
91 to 93, and he gets a lot of swing and misses.
The same pitch that he threw by Cameron Maben, which was not even 93.
And there are some guys in the big leagues that throw a lot harder than Odorizzi, and teams really don't have that much of a difficult time hitting their fastballs, even though the velocity a lot higher.
Martinez had a walk in the second. Swing and a miss. Same pitch.
He's found that groove now.
Huh. Feast on that groove. First time I've heard you use that one.
I said he's found that groove.
Oh, he's found that groove. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little high. That time Martinez did not offer.
A lot of pitches thrown, though.
Well, 29 in the second. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Victor. Should Martinez reach, Castellanos would be next. Tigers have been out hit 7-1. Their only hit in this game was a single by Maben in the first. High, ball 2. Odorizzi, originally part of the Brewers organization, was traded to the Royals in that deal that brought Escobar and Lorenzo Cain to the Royals. That Zach Greinke deal years ago. Fouled out of play. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Victor hanging tough. The ball came up and in at 92. He got a piece of it. Odorizzi about to throw his 75th pitch. Swing and a miss. He dusted him.
All 3 strikeouts on the fastball upstairs.
He strikes out the side. He has fanned 4 in a row. 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Tropicana Field, and Zimmerman back to the mound will face Hank Conger. Number 9 hitter Conger, and then Forsythe and Miller. Castellanos heading to the other side of the infield to play a little rover position against Conger. Hit into a double play in the 2nd with runners at 1st and 3rd. And Conger looks at ball 1 outside. That'll roll foul. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Rays catcher. Conger's got a little bit better. Last year he threw out just 2% of base runners. 2, that's it. 2. 2. This year he's had 13.
How you spelling 2?
T-double-O, 2.
Oh boy, oh boy.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Conger. And that's high and away. 2-2 the count. Conger is from Huntington Beach, California. He was going to go play his college ball at USC, but was drafted in the 1st round by the Angels and turned pro. There's a bouncer right to Miggy on a nice backhanded play. 1 gone.
Hey, let's get you caught up on the Comerica Bank game this summer. They got on the board first on a ball down the right field line, and by Forsythe, it was a double but an error by Moya. He got to 3rd. He came home on the sac fly off the bat of Morrison. Then a break for Tampa. This would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Pop up that hit the catwalk that fell down, and then you have a base hit followed by a double that drove in 3, and by Franklin, who just came into the ball game. So. And luck not on the Tigers' side so far here tonight.
Logan Forsythe takes the ball on the inside corner. 0-1. 1 for 2 with a double in the 1st inning, and then a run scored. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's ripped into left, base hit. His 2nd hit of the night. And now Brad Miller. Miller is 0 for 2, line out, strikeout. Well, let's see, Zim now has had 75, so you're looking maybe an inning or 2 more, I would think, depending on how the rest of the game goes for him. So the Tigers again will have to get into the bullpen in this game.
Yeah, we talked about the majority of the games they just played on the homestand, even though they won 6 of the 9. And only a couple of those outings did they get above 5 innings. One by Justin, I think he pitched 7. And Saltalamacchia went 5 1/3 in 1 game. Everything else 5 or under.
Throw back, and the runner back in.
And Forsythe has 4 steals. He's been caught twice. This Tampa team not running nearly as much as it used to run. They only have 26 steals this year, but they've been caught 18 times. That's not a good ratio. I guess that's what happens when you start to hit a lot of home runs, though. You don't want to give up outs by stealing bases, and the Tampa Bay Rays come in 4th in home runs in the American League.
It's kind of the MO the Tigers have had over the last couple of years.
Right.
Not running a whole lot because you got some guys that are going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, or potentially could. Another throw back, and diving back in is Forsythe. Jordan allowed 7 runs in 3 1/3 in his last start. It's the 2nd time he's given up 7 runs in a start this year. There's a ground ball right side off the glove of Miggy. Kinsler will throw him out. Yeah, the runner on the move. Nice play by Kinsler to get to that ball.
Well, the only reason why Ian got there because Miggy slowed it down. Mizzy jumped and he trickled the ball in the direction of Ian Kinsler, and then Ian was able to get over there and gather it and field it
and then get it back to Miguel Cabrera, who's on the bag.
Man, Kinsler got rid of that ball in a hurry.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. And top fastball so far tonight. And thrown by Zimmerman, 93. And he's gone as low as 79. But he's labored out there tonight.
Forsythe in scoring position now for Longoria. Instead of walking a double plus a run scored.
Longoria will get another walk here, unless he leaves the strike zone and swings at a pitcher's pitch. I don't think Jordan's going to give him anything too good to hit.
Bender that drops in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, he's up to 80 now. I guess when you have a guy like Zimmerman, you can trust the fact, because he's a veteran, that he's not going to make a mistake over the heart of the plate to Longoria. Otherwise, it always seems that you should just put the guy on.
That's a great point. And you're absolutely right. Brad does trust in Jordan and pitching around Longoria here and not making a mistake.
Bender. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Well, now it's 2-2. Longoria thought he held up. Five-0 Rays lead here in the 4th, looking for another.
And be careful here. And Longoria has been known to leave the strike zone in this particular situation if you get it too close to him.
Another breaking ball that bounced in. This time he held up. 3-2. Left that one inside. It's popped up shallow left, and Upton will come in to make the catch and retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Back to the mound as we go to the top of the 5th here at Tropicana Field. It is 5-0 in favor of the Tampa Bay Rays. And it'll be Castellanos, Upton, and Moya. These are the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Brad Ausmus. Nick looks at a ball just a touch off the plate. 1-0.
Second consecutive at bat that Odorizzi has started Castellanos off with an off-speed pitch. Nick is a really good fastball hitter.
We got one there right over the heart of the plate and fouled it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Odorizzi struck out the side in the 4th. He's had back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings.
He does appear to be awfully comfortable, Mario, with Conger behind the plate. Very seldom here tonight has Odorizzi shaking him off. He has shaken him off, but usually when Conger puts the finger down, he just throws it. It's nice to have that kind of trust in your catcher where you trust his game plan and you just let him lead you.
Well, it also moves the game along too. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Every sign he puts down.
3-2 on Castellanos.
Man, that pitch has been an issue for Tiger bats tonight.
It really does look juicy. But the Tigers, by and large, have not been able to put that ball in play. Here's the 3-2. That one missed low. Ball 4, leadoff man on.
Let's take a look at our barrel tire pitch by pitch. And here's the pitch that Odorizzi has thrown tonight. 79% of the time it's a fastball upstairs, and he's got all of his strikeouts for the most part on this particular pitch. Tigers just can't hit it.
+4. He's given up 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks in the game now. Here's Justin Upton. Fouled away 0-1, and that one bit Conger.
Tigers, generally speaking, are a good fastball hitting team, but not so much today.
Odorizzi's strikeout high is 10, and that was his first start back in April. Upton looks at a strike in the outside corner. Oh, 2. Justin struck out in the 2nd. Wants the elevated pitch again. And Justin able to get up there and foul it off.
It's gotten to the point now there's fastballs upstairs. The hitters are very well aware of what he's doing. And you can see Jay Up go up there and then try to hold up his swing. That wasn't a full swing by Justin, but he still made contact with the baseball.
Rays got 1 in the 1st. They added 4 in the 3rd. They lead 5-0. And they came in last place in the American League East, 14 games behind the Orioles. High fly ball to center field, routine for Geyer. Justin is out, 1 gone.
Check out the pitch usage this year on Odorizzi. And overall this season, only using the fastball, the 4-seam fastball, about 54% of the time. But today, Mario, he is all the way up to 80% with the 4-seam fastball. So apparently he has gone against what he's done all year in this start tonight against the Tigers. Heavy dose of fastballs to Detroit's hitters.
Well, so far it's worked.
Yes, it has.
7 strikeouts. Here is Steven Moya. He was a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Ball 1. Getting word on Desmond Jennings and why he left, and what you expected, the tight left hamstring. Legging out a double. Moya fouls it off.
Something that the Tampa Bay Rays are battling right now. Well, there's no team really immune to injuries, but they are battling injuries to all their outfield players for the most part.
Yeah, we talked about the missing Kiermaier. Souza is out as well. Now Jennings with hamstring that took him out of this game.
They just got Geyer back yesterday.
Thought about it, laid off. I guess they're just going to keep going up there. That time Moya was able to stop his swing. Odorizzi has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 10 of his 16 starts this year. And it's 2-2.
Moya is one that can catch up to that fastball upstairs, because to most of the Tigers hitters, they're not as tall as Steven. He's about 6'7", so that fastball can look inviting to him. And if Odorizzi does make a mistake with it, and Moya is one that could barrel it up.
Well, Odorizzi is about to throw his 90th pitch of the day, and we're only in the 5th inning, so he'll not be able to go very deep in this game, it appears. There's a line drive caught, and they're going to get a double play. Castellanos wandered off the bag, and a line 4-3 double play. Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. Ah, yes, the Ray Tank. How's it going?
Would you put your hand in there?
Not for $1 million. And I know it's okay. It's no big deal because he's doing it.
Right? Tiger fan.
Well, maybe for $1 million.
You go for a lot less than that.
Zim back to the hill now. The first one is skied in the air to right. This might be a tech play. Moya coming in, though. He's going to be able to deal with that roof and make the catch.
It's a tough play for Castellanos because he's a third baseman. He's not used to running in this direction to make a play via catching a pop-up. And we talked about the challenges here at this ballpark. Moya and Castellanos, neither guy took their eye off the baseball. Here's both of them going. Look at both of them. They never take their eye off the ball.
Nick did not give up on it either. He wasn't sure that Moya could get there, so he was charging toward the baseball. Brandon Geyer stands in and takes ball 1. Geyer sends a ground ball foul at third base. RBI single in the third, made it 2-0 at that point. Later in the inning, a pinch hit double by Franklin batting for Desmond Jennings made it a 5-0 game.
That was also a huge break for Tampa, because had Jennings been in the batter's box, he's batting under 200, and Zimmerman may have been able to get out of that frame, giving up only 2 runs.
So you had the ball that hit the catwalk that could have been an out, then that play. There's the ball low, and the count levels now 2-2. Dickerson waiting on deck. Ground ball, third base side. There's Castellanos for the running scoop. 2 up, 2 down. Check in now again with Trevor Thompson.
Well, Mario, maybe we're calling it the curse of Keating. That's right. Talked to Jordan Zimmerman yesterday. I wanted to talk to him about his start coming into today's game. He really didn't want to talk about it, because he said, after I talked to that guy, and pointed inside the dugout to John Keating, after I talked to that guy last time, I had the worst outing of my season. This time I'm going to skip it and not talk about my start. But maybe the curse of Keating carries on, because he's not having quite the night he thought he might have here in this start, or there's no curse of Keating at all. One or the other.
What is it with Keating and the pitchers not wanting to talk to him sometimes?
Keating has been reduced to that guy now. There's a swing and a miss by Corey Dickerson.
Keating's in the studio tonight, too.
He is. And, you know, some of these guys, I understand the superstition of the game and jinxes and all that. Believe me, we get a lot of that stuff.
But we're just trying to do our job.
Exactly. Now, do you really think you pitched a bad ball game because you talked to a guy? That's driven. Shallow left, and it's going to drop, base hit. So it'll be a 2-out single for Dickerson. Upton plays so deep that every now and then you're going to have one of those drop in.
Yeah, I believe his comfort level is coming in on balls versus going back on balls. Therefore, they allow him to play a little bit deeper than most left fielders.
And after the bounce that the ball took off the bat of Franklin for that 3-run double in the third, you got to be a little gun shy out there once that ball hits the turf. Here is Franklin.
It's always difficult the first time you play on artificial surface and you haven't really played on it all year, and the bounces and different things like that. You are a little leery that very first day, but then by the second and third day you start to feel a little bit comfortable. You've been able to gauge how fast balls get to you in the infield. Tiger's going to play on 2 artificial surfaces on this road trip. Toronto as well.
That ball gets away from Saltalamacchia. That'll advance the runner.
Second wild pitch of the day for Zimmerman.
Here's the other thing that you have to consider about playing 8 of 11 on this trip on the turf. You talk about here in Toronto. I mean, the Tigers aren't used to playing on the artificial turf, and that has an effect on your knees, your back, and you wonder if that will for this ball club on this trip.
Well, in the perfect world, if you're Brad, you'd like to have been playing a little bit better baseball, which should have you in a better position as far as the standings are concerned. Therefore, if you needed to rest 1 or 2 of your players in Toronto, because they've played on the artificial surface, you're able to do so, but it might be difficult for Brad to do that.
2 balls and 1 strike. Managers are always walking that tightrope of resting guys and winning ball games. You have to rest guys for the long haul, but when you're in a situation where right now the Tigers are 7.5 back, you got to run your horses out there.
Well, it's like Brad wanted to rest Miggy in that Sunday game against the Cleveland Indians, but he couldn't do it because they had lost the first 2.
3-1, Nick Franklin. High fly ball. center field for Cameron Maben. He'll glove it for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. 5 in the books in St. Pete. And 5-0 as we go to the top of the 6th inning here at Tropicana Field, and the Tigers will have Saltalamacchia leading it off.
And Saltalamacchia had a really good day yesterday. He homered for the 8th time this season. Hit 400 on the homestand.
Earning another start here tonight in the first of the 4-game series against the Rays. Saltalamacchia, then Iglesias and Kinsler in the Tigers' 6th. Rizzi starts him off fastball high and away, 1-0. Salty flied out to left field his first time up. Hit a line drive to Dickerson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You cannot take that big a swing against the Rizzi fastball, and because it jumps on you so quickly. You have to be shorter and quicker and a little bit more compact with your swing if you're going to barrel that ball up.
Two and 1. Checked it and he went. So says Adam Hammery. Got a couple of Michigan natives on the umpiring crew in this one. Hammery from Marquette, Michigan, and Scott Berry down at first is from Battle Creek.
Look at you.
How about that?
Look at you.
A little research. There's the ball high. Another full count, 3-2. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for Odorizzi. He's given up just 1 hit. His pitch count now at 95. And he walked him, ball 4. 3rd walk. Hey, don't forget to get 9 Tigers games for just $49 with the Tigers July Ballpark Pass. Tickets for every home game in July for just $49. To order your July Ballpark Pass, visit tigers.com/pass.
I don't know what it is about coming to this particular ballpark, but in the last 3 series the Tigers have played in this yard, they are averaging just over 3 runs a game. And that's for offenses that come in here that are really good offenses.
Well, remember last year was kind of the tipping point for the Tigers. They came in here before the trading deadline, didn't play well, and all of a sudden they decided to become sellers.
Yeah, the day they left here. And Dave Dombrowski started making some phone calls to tell everybody that Price would be available. Cespedes would also be available along with Joakim Soria.
Meanwhile, 1 ball, 1 strike on Iglesias, who is 0 for 1.
And then by the time we got to Toronto, he was moving those pieces, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sure was. I still remember the feeling in Baltimore. The Tigers went to Baltimore from Tampa. There's some activity now in the bullpen.
Oh yeah, it was Baltimore.
Matt Andriese warming up, and just the feel in that clubhouse. We saw David Price leaving,
and we knew the other two were going to be quick to follow.
Exactly, and they were. Ooh, check swing fouled off.
Tigers did get some really good players in those trades, though.
100 now for Odorizzi. Well, we mentioned Odorizzi was one of those guys that was coming back in a deal involving a big name, Zach Greinke, a couple of years ago. He went to the Royals from Milwaukee and then was traded here in the James Shields deal. Another check swing foul. So he's been involved in a couple of deals involving some big timers.
I wonder if Tampa is kind of kicking themselves that they gave up on Will Myers. And so soon. They shipped him off to San Diego, and Will Myers is having an all-star year out west now.
Yeah, he's put it together.
He was a Rookie of the Year here in Tampa.
Whistled foul down the right field line.
At times Iglesias can be very difficult to strike out. Doesn't overswing. His short, quick, compact stroke.
Ground ball, base hit right field. Saltalamacchia will get to second base, and the Tigers have their second hit of the game now. 2 on, nobody out in the top of the order coming up.
This is the approach that you have to have against Odorizzi. You have to be short and quick and just right to the baseball. Very little movement. That's a ball that's upstairs, but you can see that Iglesias wasn't going to overswing. Let that ball travel deep in the strike zone to get that base hit the opposite way.
Now the Tigers in business here with nobody out.
And Odorizzi has thrown 103 pitches today, and the Tigers have fouled off 27 of those. 16 with 2 strikes.
Kinsler is 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. That'll bounce in and away from Conger, and the runners will advance. Wild pitch.
And believe it or not, that is the first wild pitch of the year thrown by Odorizzi.
Well, he may be tiring here in the 6th inning. His pitch count at 104. The most he has thrown in a game is 120.
And Tigers' golden opportunity to get right back into this contest with the top of their order.
2-0.
And more than likely Ian's going to get a fastball here, but if you're Ian, you want to make sure you guard against swinging at the one that's upstairs, because the last thing you want to do is pop it straight up.
Two balls, 1 strike. Odorizzi averages about 102 pitches per start. He's at 106 now. Here's the 2-1. Ooh, it just missed outside. Wow.
He's been calling that pitch a strike all night.
Oh man, Odorizzi can't believe it. Well, apparently outside it is.
That's a strike.
Now you're disagreeing with Mr. Foxtrot.
Yeah, tonight I am. Mr. Foxtrot might have been at the beach today.
He's going to be angry. There's a drive to center field, base hit. That'll get 1 run in, maybe 2. Nope, they're going to stop the back runner Iglesias at 3rd. RBI single for Kinsler, and the Tigers are on the board.
Love the adjustment that Iglesias made. He went to the top of the strike zone and had a really short, quick, compact swing to get a base hit. And Ian Kinsler also climbed the ladder just a hair with a shorter swing to barrel that up for a base hit and an RBI. So the approach has changed here this inning against Odorizzi.
Going to be it. Odorizzi will give up the baseball. Kevin Cash going to his bullpen here. It's a wall side windows pitching change. Tigers showing some life here in the 6th. Rays bullpen here is Matt Andriese will come in the 6th inning.
Andriese has had some games as a starter, and he's also pitched some games out of the bullpen, but overall he's had a really nice year. Andriese has a fastball that averages out at about 91. He'll get up to about 93. He also will cut the fastball about 25% of the time. He's got a curveball and a changeup, no slider.
Cameron Maybin will be the first man to face him. The Tigers have strung together a walk and 2 singles. They have scored a run, still nobody out. And the Rays lead 5-1.
Lots of cut fastballs thrown by Andriese.
Lifted in the air to right field. Catch is made by Franklin. Iglesias will come in to score. A sac fly RBI for Maybin, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
Here's our 1-800 call Sam call of the game. We told you that Iglesias and Kinsler, a couple of good at-bats on that fastball upstairs, and everybody had been swinging through all night long. But both guys really shortened up their swings. Their approach was much better. They were able to get on top of the baseball and hit a line drive there. Just a nice job by those 2 guys.
Kinsler at first with 1 out now. Here's Cabrera.
So they've got a couple of blues.
Blast, is that what you're thinking?
Now they need to blast. Miguel with good numbers in this ballpark. But he has good numbers in just about every ballpark.
Yeah, it's kind of the plan with Miguel. It doesn't matter where he's batting. Andriese made a start earlier this year against the Tigers, went 5 1/3, gave up 4 runs. That was back in May at Comerica Park. Miggy has bounced into a double play and has struck out in this game. Those 2 at bats against Odorizzi. Here's the 1-0. Should find the seats, and it will. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera. Tigers fell behind 5-0. They put together a walk, couple of hits, and a sac fly to get a run in here. Kinsler an RBI, and maybe an RBI. Now the 1-1. Ground ball to third. Longoria to second. There's one. There's another double play.
Second one that Miguel has hit into today.
Tigers settled for a pair of runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. All-Star voting, Mike Trout, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, no change to the outfield. Looks like David Ortiz still gathering a lot of votes. Altuve having a great year, so is Bogarts.
Well, it looks like just about everybody in that list is deserving of the All-Star start.
That All-Star game in San Diego, July 12th on Fox.
Yeah, a lot of Boston Red Sox, a lot of Kansas City Royals. Altuve, man, is having an MVP type season out west.
Yep, not just an all-star season, but MVP caliber.
Pound for pound, clearly the best player in the game, pound for pound.
Yep. Oswaldo Arcia leads it off, and there's not many pounds in that body.
There's not.
Arcia, then Conger, and then Forsythe. Ground ball right side, right into the glove of Kinsler. One away. John Keating now with the game break.
Catcher, Hank Conger.
Yeah, they're doing incredible things right now, Keats. Their record, they would win their 48th if they hold on and win that ball game tonight.
But how about the 13-game winning streak if they're able to hold on and win it today? They're starting pitchers. 2 earned runs or less in every last start of those for the most part. They've averaged 2 runs per start.
I guess you could say that's somewhat surprising, but then again, you look at the names in that rotation, and they've all been performing at an elite level this year.
That's the one thing in baseball that everybody knew universally, that if that pitching staff would live up to the expectations and live up to the talent that they're blessed with, the Cleveland Indians could go on some type of a run, and they've done that.
Ball popped up shallow right field. Who wants it? Kinsler does. 2 outs. Here are the standings in the Central.
Well, you know, Cleveland is not going to continue to play at the pace that it's playing at right now, and they're not going to continue to get that great starting pitching, I should say. But can Kansas City or Detroit or Chicago win enough games to try to catch them?
I don't know. I think my personal opinion is there's still a lot of baseball to be played. We're not to the All-Star break yet, and you're right. I mean, there's going to be a stretch where the Indians not only break the losing streak, but they got to lose 2 or 3 in a row, maybe 4 in a row.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It always does to every team. But you got to be ready to pounce.
But this has to be one of the best runs in the history of the Cleveland Indians.
Here's a ball low to Forsythe. .104 now for Zimmerman in the pitch count category. Missed outside. 3-0.
Just kind of an off night tonight for Jordan. Really not able to get into a groove out there. And not really effective with his first pitch strike.
Right now the difference was that 4-run third. Pulled to third base, Castellanos. Well, Zim has himself a 1-2-3-6. Time to get the bats going again. Tigers down 5-2. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, Tigers came alive with a couple of runs in the 6th. Jordan Zimmerman now chatting with Rich Doobie. And right now the Tigers offense trying to continue the momentum they built in the 6th. Victor Martinez leads it off, then Nick Castellanos and Justin Upton. First one is down low from Matt Andriese, who took over. Came out in the 6th, gave up a fly ball sac fly, but got a double play from Miggy. And the Tigers had to settle for 2 runs. Here's the 1-0. That ball's hit in the air to right field, fairly deep, back to the track, right in front of the wall. Just got under it, 1 gone. Well, I don't know if you saw earlier today, Coastal Carolina won the College World Series. There's Taylor Motter, and he went to Coastal Carolina. And he celebrated the final out. They had it on the big board here.
Everybody was watching it.
And he had his Chanticleer shirt on as well. The only active player in the major leagues from Coastal Carolina. So congratulations The Chanticleers, they defeat the Arizona Wildcats.
Arizona had runners on second and third in the bottom half of the ninth inning with 2 outs.
Yeah, it was a thrilling finish. There's a strike called on Castellanos. So while Minor is the only active guy from Coastal Carolina, there were a couple of other guys who got to the big leagues. Kurt Manwaring, remember him?
Good catcher.
Yeah. And Mickey Brantley, Michael's dad. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eyeball warming up now.
And Sanchez also pitched yesterday, but only threw 5 pitches.
Sanchez went to the bullpen, got a start, did not do well in that start, and was sent back to the bullpen. 1-2 on Castellanos.
It's really going to be interesting how the Tigers deal with their starting rotation and the remainder of the way. Ideally, you would love to have Sanchez in the rotation, getting the ball every 5th day, but his stuff not nearly as good this year as it has been in the past. You've got to get Pelfrey to give you some more consistent innings and consistent outings, because you're going to have to watch Fulmer, you're going to have to watch Norris.
Yeah, that's the key right there. You've got to watch the innings for those 2 guys. Fly ball right field. Ball's going to carry out to the warning track. Castellanos is out 2 away. Hey, follow Tigers baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day audio, live video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. You were speaking of Fulmer. He is going to start tomorrow.
And then he's going to pitch again on Wednesday, the final day in Cleveland. And then he will not pitch for the next 10 days. You've got the All-Star break, and then you've got 5 games before he'll get the ball after the All-Star break. That's what managers do to try to keep the young players' innings down.
No balls and 1 strike. That is pulled to left field, but foul. I know Brad earlier this year said they want to try and keep Fulmer's innings within 20 to 30% more than he pitched all of last year.
He pitched, what, 124 last year, you said?
Correct.
So he has about to get to about 155, 160.
In that range.
Had a long conversation with him today, man. Said he feels great. Says he doesn't anticipate, the hiccups and the amount of days that he waits in between starts to affect the way that he's able to go about his business. Because when he gets the ball, tomorrow, it'll be like 7 days, right?
Right. Nothing really seems to rattle him, I think. He's kind of going with the flow. And he's had a lot of success. One and 2 on the right-hander Justin Upton. Up and in, 2-2. Fancy.
Yes, they are. Some of the fanciest batting gloves I think I've seen.
And some of the gear they get in the big leagues.
It's nice to be a big leaguer, man.
Now Jay Up will step out. Two outs, nobody out here in the 7th. Tigers down 5-2.
Justin's brother Melvin having a real nice year out in San Diego after signing that big contract to leave as a free agent to go to Atlanta. He really struggled, but he has gotten really comfortable playing out on the West Coast and having a good year. It's good to see.
Yeah, what a talented family. Melvin used to be known as B.J. Upton, right?
Yes, he was. Boss Man Jr.
Boss Man Jr., that's right.
Dad was a boss man.
It's grounded to 3rd.
Stop it, Evan.
Man, Longoria, look at that play, Rod.
Quit it, Evan.
1-2-3 inning. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. in America returns with a showdown between the Angels and the Red Sox, 7 p.m. Eastern on your local Fox station. And then the Yankees battle the Padres at 9:30 Eastern in a game you can only see on FS1, and you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Well, it looks like we have a new pitcher now for the Tigers. Wallside windows pitching change. Here is Anibal Sanchez.
And I told you Sanchez pitched yesterday, but only 5 pitches. And actually has looked better pitching out of the bullpen than he has as a starter. The fastball's gotten up to 94. He's had better command out of the bullpen. Breaking balls have been sharper as well.
First one home is a strike. Brad Miller, Evan Longoria, Logan Morrison here in the 7th. Miller is 0 for 3, shoots one right back to Sanchez. One gone.
Nice play by Anibal. Sanchez has a fastball that tops out at about 92 miles an hour these days. He's got a slider, he's got a cutter, he's got a curveball and a slider. He's got all 5 pitches.
Evan Longoria, double walk, run scored. Flat out to left his last time up.
And not only has he gotten it done offensively tonight, Longoria, he has started 2 double plays. And that last play that he just made to end the last half inning was a really nice play. Having a good year. He's got to make the All-Star team this year, right?
Oh, for sure. Ooh, that ball just stayed up. Castellanos down the left field line. Longoria going to try for 2. Here's the throw, not in time.
That is the ultimate Olay there. It's a real tough hop for Castellanos. He finally just decided to slide step it and try to pick it that way, and it got right over the glove in the left field for a 2-bagger.
Second double of the game for Longoria. That'll bring up Logan Morrison. That is 5 doubles now for the Rays offense, and they have an even 10 hits. Ball 1.
They came in struggling from an offensive standpoint as a team, and batting just .240, which is the lowest in the American League.
Well, they've put up 5 runs on 10 hits tonight. Outside, 2-0 the count.
Yeah, be careful here if you decide to throw Morrison a fastball. He'll definitely be looking for it, and he won't miss it if it gets too much plate.
Popped him up. Third base side, Castellanos calling. Big out, 2 away. And they bring up Brandon Guyer. Guyer singled in a run with 2 outs in the 3rd. All of the runs scored in this game for the Rays coming with 2 outs. We told you earlier that has been their specialty this year. That'll get away from Saltalamacchia and advance the runner.
That is the 3rd wild pitch of the night uncorked by Tigers pitching. Zimmerman threw 2 of those, and he had come into this contest only with 1 wild pitch.
So Longoria moves 90 feet closer. Right off the mask of Saltalamacchia. One ball, 1 strike. Longoria's got a nice different kind of hairdo these days.
You digging that?
And a little mohawk.
Yeah, yeah.
Strike call.
Good fastball. A little tailing action at 92 miles an hour thrown by Anibal. Ended up right down the middle, but it had some deception to it because it started on the outside corner. And it was given up on by Geyer.
That's going to get away again, but Saltalamacchia will chase it down. Two and two. The count on Brandon Geyer. Runner at third, 2 outs, 5-2 Rays. We're in the 7th. First of 4 between these two teams. Bang that one foul. Stay alive.
I don't know what it is with Anibal, man, but out of the bullpen, he's 93, he's 94, but when he starts, he doesn't get to that velocity.
Don't you think that would be a lot more the same for a lot of guys just coming out of the pen knowing they don't have distance to go? They can just let it hang out.
Yeah, I think most times that would be true, but in his case, Anibal will finish it a little later.
Iglesias going to gobble it up, throw him out. And the side retired. No runs, a double, 1 man left. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Here's a play at Comerica Park. Kevin Kiermaier, Mauro, you were talking about him earlier, just how much they miss him. He fractured his left hand diving for a play at Comerica Park, and from a defensive standpoint, he just cannot be replaced.
You could tell that was a problem immediately. Here is the list of notable players currently on the DL. Kiermaier, Steven Souza Jr.,
Steve Pearce, their closer. And Colome is currently on the disabled list as well, along with Brad Boxberger.
Kevin Cash has had to
MASH unit around here.
Exactly. He's had to work with a decimated lineup. Steven Moya swings and misses as we get things going now in the top of the 8th.
Andriese has come in and done a really nice job in relief of Odorizzi.
He's retired all 5 batters he's faced. Got a big double play from Cabrera to close out the 6th.
He throws across his body. He's got some deception in his delivery. He steps over toward third base, and then he gets his arm up and then throws back across his body and throws a really nice cut fastball that has deception, gets in on left-handers. Look at his body, how he steps across here. There's that cutter inside, too, right on cue.
Shallow left field, and it's going to be the shortstop Miller to make the catch. One gone. Hey, Fox Sports Detroit's University Days rolls along this summer with Central Michigan University at Comerica Park on July the 15th. Buy a special ticket package to the Tigers-Royals game. Get a Tigers baseball cap in CMU colors. To buy tickets or to get more information, visit tigers.com/special events. Fire up chips. One gone here in the 8th. Here's Saltalamacchia. The hook and a dandy 0-1.
One more look at the Andres delivery. Throwing across his body, and we told you now he throws that cut fastball about 92, and it gets right on in the hands of Moya. He also did the same thing to Victor Martinez. Victor nearly hit it out, but Victor hit it on the label as well. It was a cut fastball. He's throwing that glove at you, and he's also giving you that cross his body look. So that's what makes him effective.
Andres out of the Redlands, California. Down the left field line, going to the corner. It's going to be playable and caught by Dickerson. Couple of fly ball outs, 2 gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight retired by the right-hander. Here is Iglesias. They got Andres along with Brad Boxberger, Logan Forsythe from San Diego.
Pretty good deal. That was a Will Myers deal?
No.
No.
Here is Iglesias now with 2 outs. Breaking ball in for a strike. Alex Torres came over in that deal, or went the other way in that deal. Here's a drive to left field. That's going to get down, and it's going to go to the wall. Extra bases. Iggy is on his way to second with a 2-out double.
I don't know where Iglesias has found the extra base power in the month of June, but boy, has he found it. And that ball was absolutely scorched off the bat of Iglesias. He got a breaking ball at about 87 and turned on it.
It's his second hit of the game. Here's Kinsler now. Tigers had their 4th hit of this ball game. Ian knocked in a run with a single in the 6th. His team leading 94th hit. In there, a strike, 0-1. 10 hits for the Rays, only 4 for the Tigers, yet it's only a 3-run game here. Tigers need another base runner to bring the tying run up. The 0-1.
Andres has got a pretty good fastball. That one at 94.
Andres played his college ball at UC Riverside.
They got a good program there.
They do. Joe Kelly, you played with him, and Rob Brantley, the catcher.
Yeah, they got a good program at UC Riverside.
0-2. The lefty Justin Wilson warming up. drilled on the ground to third. Longoria gobbles it up.
They need to try somebody else because Longoria has picked everything down in his direction.
No runs, a double, one left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Down 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jake Odorizzi started this one, and for the most part, Rod looked pretty good tonight.
He had the good fastball upstairs. Tigers kept swinging and missing. They finally got to him, and they found off a lot of pitches, which got his pitch count up, so he couldn't get past the 6th inning.
Franklin had that big pinch hit 3-run double in the 3rd. Tigers,
boy, was it.
Look at that, 3 through 6 hitters. 0 for 10.
Did it say 10 strikeouts too?
No, I don't think it said 10.
It said 0 for 10?
Yeah. Strike 1 on Dickerson. 2 out of 3, couple of singles, runs scored. Sanchez trying to keep it right here. Anibal came on in the 7th, gave up a double, but no damage. After Zimmerman went 6. Here's the 0-1.
And Saltalamacchia had the glove up around the waist of Dickerson. He wanted the fastball up, but not as high as Sanchez threw it. That ball got with a hanging breaking ball.
Boy,
there.
Didn't he?
And the reason why Dickerson didn't hit it because he overswung. He came out of his shoes. And you never see guys make contact when they swing that hard.
Franklin will be next, and then Arcia against Sanchez. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Little fishing expedition there for Dickerson. Let's check in now with Trevor Thompson. Preview of tonight's Tigers Live.
That's right, Mario. When it's all over, we'll go inside the clubhouse and we'll get with Jordan Zimmerman and find out what went wrong in this outing for him, although he did get through the 6th inning. We'll also talk with Anibal Sanchez and talk about him coming out of the pen again. It seems like he's pretty comfortable with that here tonight. And we'll talk with Brad Ausmus about this trip getting off to the start it's getting off to so far here in Tampa. Back to you guys for now.
All right, Trev, thank you. Here's a fly ball in the air toward left center. That'll be playable. And Franklin is out, 2 gone. Now Sanchez will face Arcia. Tigers in the 9th inning don't go anywhere. Maben, Cabrera, Martinez, 2, 3, and 4. See what Miggy has in store. They play the shift against Arcia. Strike 1.
Good breaking ball there thrown by Sanchez. He buried that breaking ball in the bottom of the strike zone.
Sanchez has faced 6 batters. He's retired 5 of them. Good ball belted toward right field. It's going to drop. Base hit. So Arcia is aboard with a 2-out single. It's going to make it 11 hits now for the Rays. It'll bring up the number 9 man, Hank Conger. He's had a tough night, 0 for 3, including a double play ball.
And still shifting on Conger with the runner on first base.
A little bit outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
If you're wondering where the Tigers are as far as defensive shifts in the American League, well, in baseball for that matter, they're in the bottom 5. They don't really shift all that much. It appears that they do, but then when you see some of the numbers regarding some of the other teams, it's just absolutely crazy. No one shifts more than the Houston Astros. Seattle Mariners are second. And then this Tampa Bay Rays team coming into play tonight, Mario, 865 shifts.
Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss.
The Tigers are probably somewhere down the 200 range.
Yeah, we keep checking the latest numbers. They're updated for us every couple of weeks, and the Tigers just they stay toward the bottom 5 of the league.
Tigers are 272 in the bottom 5.
Differences in philosophies. It's interesting to see how different ball clubs utilize the data.
Houston's over 1,000.
Meanwhile, the runner going there and a ball in the dirt, and they had to run to third base to cover it.
He picked a good pitch to go on. Arcia with a stolen base. He's off and running, breaking ball down, not handled by Saltalamacchia, so a steal for Arcia.
Two and two on Hank Conger. They get Castellanos back to the third base side with the runner at second now. Inside on Conger. Full count, 3-2.
You know, the teams that really have shifted the most, that have not shifted the most in baseball, your old school manager teams. Mattingly kind of in Miami, Joe Madden, Cubs. The Mets, you've got Terry Collins. So the older school managers not shifting as much as the new generation managers.
Line to left field. That's going to get down a base hit, score a run. Conger is on his way to second, and he is in with a stand-up double.
Really nothing new for the Tampa Bay baseball team, scoring runs with 2 outs. 47% of their runs have come after 2 are out, which is the most in the majors.
Here's the 50th career double for Conger.
That's a fastball at 93 off the plate, just a shade, but a nice job of keeping the bat in the strike zone by Conger, hitting that ball the opposite way for a 2-bagger.
Big 2-out run to make it a 4-run spread now, and here is Logan Forsythe. He looks at a strike down the middle of the plate. Forsythe, a couple of hits tonight, including a double. He's hit safely now in 6 in a row for the Rays. One ball, 1 strike. Twelve hits now for the Tampa Bay Rays. They lead 6-2. That'll get back out of play. 1-2 on Forsythe. Action in the Tampa pen now. The right-hander's Garden warming up. They'll get back out of play again. 1-2. The count stays on Forsythe. Garden now is warming up with some urgency down there. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Animal now is up to 32 pitches. I mentioned he threw just 5 in his last outing. Conger at second, a 2-out double to make it 6-2. Oh, man, was that close. Full count, 3-2.
Could have gone either way. Anibal was 1 step toward his dugout, and Saltalamacchia stepped up like he was headed to the dugout as well.
Now the 3-2. Foul back out of play. Forsythe trying to drive in another insurance run. Tigers again in the 9th inning have Maben, Cabrera, and Martinez. They'll have the heart of the order, and then if anybody gets down, Castellanos. Line drive, right center base hit. That'll get another run in. Another 2-out run for the Rays. All 7 of their runs tonight with 2 outs.
Shortstop, number
Now Brad Miller.
Brad Miller.
Miller is hitless tonight. He's sold for 4. That'll make it 13 hits now for the Tampa offense, despite the fact that, as Rod mentioned, they came in not very good.
Miller has had good power numbers so far this year. Yeah, first shortstop in Ray history to have 10 home runs before the break. And they say he hits the ball extremely hard as anybody on the team. No batting gloves. Holds those hands up way up over his head. Got a little Craig Counsell in him without all the movement, doesn't he? Just a little bit.
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Was that one of the most bizarre batting stances you've ever seen?
Wasn't it, though? He stayed in the big leagues for about 15 years.
Yeah, he did. He's saying you can laugh at me all you want.
I'm laughing all the way to the bank. He stayed in the big leagues for 15 years.
1 ball, 1 strike. Counsell had the left knee going one way, the right knee going the other way.
Then he had the bat way up over his head.
Meanwhile, 2-1 the count. And Brad Miller. Lowe, the right-hander, warming up in the Detroit bullpen.
Brad has had a difficult time of finding spots to get Lowe into action lately. I mean, just so he can kind of get himself back on track.
Foul tip in the glove. Yeah, it's the old double-edged sword. I mean, you want to get in some action, some innings where he can kind of straighten himself out, but he's got to get outs.
Yeah.
And he's not been able to do that.
So, I mean, in close games, you can't use him if you're trailing because you're hoping that your offense can get you back in games. But Lowe just, for whatever reason, man, after what he did last year, not nearly able to get close to those numbers.
Miller strikes out looking. 2 big runs come in, though, for the Rays. Coming up for the Tigers, Maben, Cabrera, Martinez, as we go to the 9th. top of the ninth inning. It'll be sizable if the Tigers are able to get a rally going. They're down 7-2. And that's what it looks like in the Central. Boy, Cleveland just continues to roll. And in the meantime, the Rays have gone to the bullpen. Now Ryan Garton is on.
And Garton has a fastball about 93 miles an hour. He also throws a lot of cut fastballs along with a curveball and a changeup. Not many changeups. A lot of curveballs, lots of cutters.
Local kid born in Clearwater, not too far from here.
Wow, he's real close to the house.
Well, here come the Tigers now. It'll be Cameron Maybin here in the ninth inning getting things started. 7-2 in favor of the Rays. And Garton delivers a strike. 0-1.
First pitch, 94-mile-per-hour cutter thrown by Garton.
Cameron an RBI tonight with a sacrifice fly. He's also picked up a single. He's hit safely in 6 in a row.
Ooh, that's wet right there. What was that thing right there?
What was it?
It was nasty. It was a curveball. Look at this thing.
Zip.
It almost fooled the catcher.
Looked like a strike too. That's going to get foul. Look out. Hey, what a play there.
They love him down there. Getting high fives. That's got to be a thrill for a kid, man, to hang out in a big league bullpen, man, and hang with big league players.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything better, and then make a play like that on top of it.
Ooh, you know, they probably teaching them a couple bad habits too, but that comes with the territory. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just don't tell mom.
Now, what could those bad habits be?
Well, you know.
Here's Miggy waiting on deck. Ground ball, base hit. Out of the reach of the second baseman Forsythe. It'll be a leadoff single.
I love Maybin's stroke, man. He chokes up, and with 2 strikes, he does nice work.
Hey, Tigers T-shirt Fridays kick off on Friday, July 15th, featuring a Miguel Cabrera emoji T-shirt. To purchase an exclusive Tigers T-shirt Friday ticket, the packages are available at tigers.com/T-shirt Fridays. Check it out online to purchase. That's a pretty cool looking shirt there.
Emoji T-shirt.
Miggy emoji. Leadoff man on. Here is Cabrera. Swing and a miss. I don't know where Cameron Maybin's going to end up at the end of the year in terms of batting average, but I didn't realize he was that good of a hitter.
I love his approach these days. He said Kevin Seitzer really helped him out when he was with the Atlanta Braves.
Here's the ground ball back up the middle into center. And Maybin is on his way to third, and the Tigers now have runners at first and third, nobody out.
A couple of hard hit balls off the bat of Maybin and the big fella, and Miguel Cabrera.
The Rays, their closer, Colomé, is on the disabled list, so they really, of course, they haven't had many opportunities to win games recently, but they've been trying to find someone to close out games. Now the bullpen's going to start to work here. Erasmo Ramirez warming up.
You see where Fernando Rodney was traded today to the Miami Marlins.
He was having a dynamite year.
Yeah, Miami must think they're in this thing for real, right?
Apparently so. There's a strike called on V-Mart. Well, we just saw the Marlins last couple of days. They got a nice little team offensively. They're going to get D. Gordon back in July at some point.
That kid Dietrich is playing second base for them right now. Has been somewhat of a spark plug for them.
He's done a nice job.
Don Mattingly, good manager too. Didn't get the credit that he really deserved while he was managing the Los Angeles Dodgers, but you see what he's been able to do in Miami.
One ball and one strike on Victor Martinez. Tigers trying to keep it going here. They're down 7-2.
And Victor Martinez looking to turn on one of those cut fastballs thrown by Garton. And if he gets it, he'll be trying to hit it into the seats in right field. Victor just missed a home run his last time up.
1-2 on Martinez.
Good pitch. Changeup. Straight changeup at 85.
Bouncing ball back up the middle, base hit into center field. It found a seam, and now it's 7-3. 3 straight hits for the Tigers here in the 9th inning. They've scored a run.
They're not going without a fight. And Jim Hickey, pitching coach, going to make a visit out to the mound here.
As Ramirez continues to warm up, singles by Maben, Cabrera, and Victor.
Well, one of the messages that Hickey will have here for Garden is he knows that Castellanos is a really good first ball fastball hitter, so he might throw him another breaking ball here, and especially with runners in scoring position to swing at the first pitch.
Well, these numbers are good as well. 326, 7th inning or later.
Clutch.
So Castellanos is up there with runners at first and second, nobody out.
And if you're Nick here, you just can't get yourself out by swinging at a breaking ball on the first pitch, if in fact you are looking for that fastball, unless he hangs it.
Castellanos has a walk in his 3 plate appearances. Swing and a miss.
Knew it. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yep.
At 90 with that kind of tilt. It's getting to the point where Nick's not going to get many more fastballs on first pitches. I think every at bat today for Nick, the first pitch has been an off-speed pitch.
Here's the 0-1. He'll shoot that one to left field. That's a base hit, and it's going to load the bases. The Tigers have 4 consecutive hits. They are loaded up with nobody out. Now Kevin Cash going to have to go out and get him. So Garten comes on, faces 4 batters, gives up 4 hits. And Erasmo Ramirez will come on. And will step aside. Pitching change, 7-3.
Not going quietly here tonight, led off by Maben, then followed up by Miguel Cabrera. Victor Martinez also with base hit up the middle, and Nick Castellanos also chipped in with a base hit that was basically up the middle. So a really nice approach by the 4 hitters that have come to the plate in this inning, all of them basically going right back through the center of the diamond.
Erasmo Ramirez, 2 of his 21 inherited runners have scored. He's got the bases full, nobody out.
He also has 6 wins as a reliever this year, which paces the majors.
1 ball and no strikes on Justin Upton, who hits .306 career with the bases loaded.
And Ramirez has a fastball that gets up to about 92 miles an hour. He'll throw you quite a few sliders and a changeup. He does have a curveball, but doesn't use it very often.
2-0. Justin Wilson is again warming in the Tigers bullpen in case we can put this come back together here.
Got to be looking for a pitch you can hit into the gaps here. Oh, he did.
And a line drive to center. That's going to drop. Base hit. They had him played deeply. They'll go station to station. Another single and an RBI this time for Upton.
Keep that line moving, boys.
7-4 ball game.
2-0. He got a fastball right down the middle and put a really good swing on it. Did Jay Up.
It is 5 straight hits, tying runs on the bases now with nobody out. Here's Steven Moya.
And Moya, another one that swings at the first pitch quite often since coming to the big leagues.
Ball 1. Tigers all of a sudden have 9 hits now. They put together 5 in a row here in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss.
Change up there thrown by Ramirez. Moya was fooled on it, but he still swung at it.
Fly ball in the air toward right field. Under it, Franklin, catch is made. And the runner will tag at third and score. It's now 7-5, an RBI for Moya. That is the first out of the inning. Now Francisco Rodriguez joining Justin Wilson. Saltalamacchia will step in. It took them 6 hitters to get the first out of the inning. The outfield playing way back.
No doubles depth. And nothing hit over the heads of the outfielders. If it does, it has to leave the ballpark. That's the way Kevin Cash is defending the Tigers right now.
Playing Saltalamacchia to pull.
Ramirez really loves his changeup. He is fearless with that pitch, and he will throw it in any count.
Bouncing ball, that's going to get through. Base hit. Here comes Castellanos around to score. It's a 7-6 ball game.
Told you that this Tampa Bay Rays team shifts quite a bit. 865 shifts employed by Tampa coming into play today. And this one right here kind of cost them. This ball goes right here where there's absolutely nobody playing, but that's where the shortstop should be. Double play ball.
Yeah, it's a game-ending double play ball. Now the tying run is at third. Romine is at first base. He'll pinch run for Salty.
Let's go Tiger chance. I hear him.
For the first time tonight. Infield is coming in. It's a 4-run inning, 7-6. And here is Iglesias, single and a double in this game. Ball 1. Gardens started the inning by giving up 4 consecutive singles, was taken out of the game. Then Ramirez came in, gave up the hit to Upton. Ball 2.
Tigers have themselves in a favorable count here. Dave Clark looking in intently at Brad Ausmus, but I'm not anticipating a squeeze here. And runner on third, less than 2 outs, even though Upton has speed and Iglesias also can handle the bat. But if you're Tampa, it's got to be in the back of your mind.
Runner goes to second. Here's a bluff to second. Now runners at second and third.
That takes the double play out of the equation, which means the game will not end on a ground ball hit by Iglesias.
Meanwhile, the count is 2-0. Now a base hit puts the Tigers ahead.
How about that?
An unbelievable inning. Check the count, it's 3-0. And he walked in, ball 4. That'll load the bases. Here comes Jim Hickey. The most stunning inning of the season so far for the Tigers. They came in trailing 7-2.
They just need to finish it off now, and if they're able to do so, it'll be an unbelievable victory here tonight.
They'll have the top of the order coming up. Kinsler, the 9th man to bat in the inning. And Ian had an RBI single in the 6th.
Ian Kinsler also very difficult to double up. He has only grounded into 2 twin killings this year.
Wilson, meanwhile, and K-Rod still warming up.
If you're Ian Kinsler, your thought process should be trying to hit a ball deep enough to the outfield to just score 1 run. You don't want to try to get greedy here by trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Just drive in 1 and tie it.
It'll get away from Conger, not far enough. 1-0.
Come on, Tigers!
7-6. Rays have the lead. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2-0 now on Kinsler. Infield back looking for the double play ball. The only defender in is Morrison at first. I think he's got the rhythm going.
Ramirez has thrown 14 pitches and he's only thrown 5 strikes.
He missed ball 3.
He wouldn't walk in a run, would he?
Oh, he just might. Boy, look at that ratio.
If you're Ian Kinsler, you may as well take 2 pitches. This one for sure. And if he throws a strike, maybe even take the next one.
Three and 1. Nobody warming up for the Rays. It's going to be Ramirez here. just as I say that, they get the bullpen working. 3-1 pitch. Fouled off now. 3-2 on Kinsler. Danny Farquhar warming up. In ball 4, and we have a tied ball game. What a comeback tonight for the Tigers. It is 7-7.
First 5-run comeback in the 9th inning since May 28th, 1998 versus the White Sox. They were also trailing 7-2 in that game. This is amazing.
It is absolutely stunning, and now they can go ahead. Still only 1 out in the inning. The sac fly by Moya, the only out.
And Maben let it off.
Way outside, 1-0.
Good things have been happening for Maben this year. Hitting .429 with runners in scoring position, driven in 14. They've got the infield in. He's been hitting the ball hard. He should be able to hit it right through the infield. He is also tough to double up.
In the air toward left field. That ball is going to get down and go all the way to the wall. 2 runs are in. Here comes Kinsler. He will score. Maben cleans the bases, and the Tigers have the lead.
What an amazing comeback tonight for the Tigers.
Look at that dugout. Holy cats, it is a 10-7 ball game. An 8-run 9th inning for the Tigers. This is stunning.
But I love it.
And Ramirez will take a shower. Cameron Maben.
They might not even let him take a shower tonight.
Shoots a ball to left center field, and he cleans them up.
That was a little half swing.
And the Rays will go to the bullpen. 10-7 Detroit. Of events here in St. Pete. The Tigers score 8, yes 8 in the top of the 9th, and they still have only 1 out. They lead 10-7.
And they've got the big fella standing in the batter's box, who's
And
already
Cabrera
singled in the inning. Excuse me.
looks at a strike, 0-1. They got Danny Farquhar in now to try and put out the Flames.
And Farquhar did not think that he would be pitching in this contest. They had a 7-2 lead going into the 9th inning. It is so good to see the Tigers scoring runs in this ballpark as well, because we told you in the last 3 series the Tigers have played here, they've averaged only 3 runs a game.
Cameron Maben, one of the big blows, a bases loaded double to score 3.
And Farquhar got a fastball, gets up to 92, cuts the fastball. Also breaking ball right there, 87, and a changeup.
Farquhar, a former Seattle Mariner. Ramirez was hammered in his outing, but really Garton started this by giving up 5 straight hits, and then he departed.
Yeah, he started the mess. How about Cameron Maben?
I'm telling you, man, it's just been unbelievable. He's got 2 more hits tonight and 4 RBIs.
Hitting about 435, 440 with runners in scoring position after that hit.
Miggy hammers one in the air to left field. It's going to be caught there by Dickerson. Maben tagging, moving up to third, and he is in there safely. First 9th inning, scoring 8 or more runs since 2001, when the Tigers had a 13-run 9th inning. Farquhar's had some closing experience. He had 16 saves a couple of years ago with Seattle.
Is he the former teammate of Avila? Is that Farquhar? Is that who?
Yes, I think he is actually. He is.
Yeah. Alabama?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, you're thinking of Robertson.
Farquhar somewhere. I thought they crossed paths.
They may have. He didn't go to Alabama. That was David Robertson. There's a ball inside, but there is a link, I think. He was born in Pembroke Pines, Florida, so there you go. They went to high school together, probably.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
Yep.
There was some kind of tie, as we've talked about it.
There's a strike called. One ball, 1 strike on Victor Martinez. There's so many big at-bats in this inning, I don't know where to start.
Start with Maben.
Chopper to the first baseman. That is a fair ball. Will get the out to retire the side. But what an inning for the Tigers. They put up an 8 spot here in the 9th, down 5-2, 7-2 actually. Maben able to cap it off with a 3-run double, and the Tigers lead by 3.
now up 10-7 over the Rays thanks to that explosion of 8 runs in the 9th inning. That changes the postgame dramatically here on Fox Sports Detroit. Can't wait to talk to Cameron Maybin about the big night he's had. Hopefully we're talking to Frankie Rodriguez about another big save and a great start to this Tiger road trip, Mario. Back up to you and Rod to close this thing out.
All right, Trev, thank you. And indeed, Frankie Rodriguez is on now to try and get the final 3 outs.
And Trev's got a huge smile on his face now, partner, going into that clubhouse.
He looked kind of dour a couple of minutes ago. Not anymore. Evan Longoria leads it off. Here are the numbers on Francisco.
He's been good this year, looking for save number 22. And 325 earned run average, 29 strikeouts. He's walked just 10. And pitching in his 31st game.
Little miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple of defensive changes for the Tigers. Andrew Romine will stay in the game and play third base. James McCann is on to catch.
And Rodriguez has a fastball that gets up to 89 miles an hour with regularity, not much above that. He's got a big sweeping breaking ball at about 75 and a changeup that he uses as his out pitch.
Mike Aviles now is checked into right field.
Aviles has been getting a lot of playing time lately. He had started in 9 consecutive games before today.
Here's the 2-1. And Longoria hammers one down the left field line. That'll go all the way to the warning track where Upton was playing. They'll hold him to a single.
He is on fire, man. Longoria is having a tremendous month of June.
2 doubles and a single in this one. That'll bring Logan Morrison up there. That is the 14th hit now for the Rays. Morrison, a sacrifice fly. He's also walked and scored. He is 0 for 2 officially.
And Miggy playing right behind Evan Longoria at first base.
Popped him up.
Thank you very much.
Upton coming in. 1 gone on 1 pitch. They'll bring up Brandon Guyer. Guyer with an RBI single in the 3rd. Strike 1.
And now with the right-handed batter up, Miguel Cabrera holding on Evan Longoria.
Ground ball to 3rd, gobbled up. Romine, 2nd, 1, relay to 1st. Here's a double play.
What a comeback tonight for the Tigers.
The Tigers score 8 runs in the 9th inning and stun the Rays 10-7.
The Rays don't believe it. This might be the game, Mario, that just kind of starts some things off. I don't know for sure, but we might look back to June 30th as the day that kind of propelled this team.
Tigers were dead. They were down 7-2 in the 9th. And they scored 8 runs. And K-Rod finishes it off.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game. Cameron Maybin led the 9th off with a single. And then with the bases loaded, a little half swing over the head of the left fielder to drive in the game-winning run. And look at that dugout. That dugout is fired up.
There's life in these Detroit Tigers. There's your final 10-7. What a win tonight for the ball club.